90 Day Fiancé Season 11 Episode 17, Too Late for Love, premiered on TLC on June 8, 2025. Just 2 days before the wedding, Mina came to the heartbreaking realization that her son Clayton's visa for the US wouldn't be ready in time. Mina had no choice but to make the hard decision of calling her son and telling him that she won't be able to fulfill her promise of bringing him in for her wedding. The talk was visibly hard on her, and she soon broke down into tears, fearing that her son would resent her for it. Fans online reacted to Mina's interaction with her son and empathized with the pain she had to go through. Mina having to break her son's heart telling him he can't go to the wedding in America was a rough one to watch. "I'm sure they'll pick at that scab at the tell-all. Okay, I take it back seeing Mina talking to Clayton has me tearing up, aw, poor baby," a netizen commented. Not even Jasmine can understand what Mina is going through because she was bothered about her kids not being a part of her wedding. Mina had to be talked into it. Meanwhile, some 90 Day Fiancé fans felt that it wasn't a big issue, as Mina could have a court wedding now and have a proper ceremony when her son could get into America. Mina and Mark, really? You can't go to the courthouse and get married first and have the big wedding when your son gets there? A viewer said. Mina and Mark should just sign the papers and have the wedding later. No problems, a fan mentioned. If hashtag Mina don't stop this VC crying, like I get it, but you knew this was a possibility, just get married. Like you know you're gonna do, fix up and get him there ASAP, a fan wrote. Mina has grown on me, but I imagine that Clayton has had a few disappointments from her, a fan commented. So how exactly is Mark and Mina expecting to get a visa? Walk into the embassy and ask for one. From the start of 90 Day Fiancé Season 11, contestant Mina had been trying to get her son Clayton into the US before her wedding with Mark. However, after several failed attempts at getting a visa for him, she lost all hope 2 days before her wedding ceremony. Mina couldn't stop crying after telling her son that he won't be able to come to her wedding. Mark soon approached her and tried to console her. Later in his confessional, Mark shared that he wasn't sure how this incident was going to play out. He feared that if Mina misses her son too much and changes her mind, then she might not go through with the wedding. While being held by Mark, Mina expressed that this might be the last time her son believes her words. She wasn't able to keep her promise and felt that Clayton would resent her for it. Mark chimed in, making his 90 Day Fiancé partner understand that she didn't break her promise on purpose. He told her that she just wanted her son to believe that he would soon be with his mom. However, when Mina said that she needed some time and was thinking of postponing their wedding ceremony, Mark explained to her that she only had a few days on her visa and they had to get married in 2 days, no matter what. The 90 Day Fiancé star then opposed the idea of having Clayton attend their ceremony, though live-streamed. While Mina wasn't fully satisfied with the idea, she understood the urgency of their situation and agreed to go through with their wedding. Niles Valentine from 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90 Days has shared some stunning news about his relationship with Matilda Nti after weeks of silence since asking fans for money. Niles is from Mobile, Alabama, and met Matilda from Ghana on social media when she sent him a friend request out of the blue. Niles proposed to Matilda online and flew to meet her on before the 90 Days Season 7. Matilda wished to marry Niles on his trip, but he was in a bad place financially after having lost his job and receiving no support from his parents. Despite the challenges, Niles and Matilda got married on the show with the help of the village elder, Mr. Ark, but Niles still needed money to bring Matilda to America. Niles recently went live on Instagram to share the latest on Matilda's visa journey. 90 Day Fiancé Alexa. When someone asked Niles how Matilda was doing, he said that she was wonderful and that the visa process had started. "It's super exciting," Niles added. Niles assured his fans that he would share more updates when he had something concrete to share. Niles looked very happy while chatting with his fans from all over the world who had tuned in to get information about what happened to Niles and Matilda after the show ended. Niles launched his fundraiser with a goal of raising $8,000. He hadn't seen Matilda for 10 months when they filmed the tell-all due to his lack of funds. The only way left for him to reunite with Matilda was to bring her to America. The money Niles asked fans for was intended to cover the visa, medical expenses, travel costs, legal fees, and Matilda's plane ticket to the US. Viewers of the show who wanted to see Niles and Matilda together donated generously to the fundraiser, and he ended up earning more than double his original goal. Niles faced backlash during his season when his false promises to Matilda were revealed. He didn't want to marry Matilda during the trip and made it seem like she was manipulating him into it. Niles came across as a coward when it came time to express his true feelings to Matilda. He always found a way to blame someone else for his mistakes. Niles appeared to be rethinking his options, while Matilda remained understanding of his autism without hurting him. It was Matilda's maturity that won over fans. She proved she wasn't in it solely for the visa. Matilda had big dreams for her wedding, which Niles wasn't able to fulfill. She wasn't sure if he would even return to Ghana if they were only engaged during their trip on 90-day fiancé, before the 90 days, and not actually married. Perhaps Niles would have divorced Matilda if he couldn't afford her visa process. However, Niles has now shown that he is dedicated to building a beautiful life with Matilda in the US. All he has to do now is live up to his promises. 90-Day Fiancé star David Toborowsky finally shared his life plans with fans after welcoming another daughter with Annie Suwan. David and Annie met in Thailand and moved to the US together when Annie got her K-1 visa. They saw some tough times in their marriage, but with hard work and love from 90-Day Fiancé fans, they were able to taste success. However, David and Annie decided to leave their new life of comfort in the US behind when Annie became pregnant with their first baby. David relocated to Thailand in November 2024 and has since lived there with Annie, who gave birth to their baby in March 2025. However, David had not revealed whether it was a permanent move. David recently posted a family photo of himself with Annie and baby Nti from their outing to a beach in Jombdian near Pattaya. He spoke about how much fun he had there with his wife and child as they had lunch and enjoyed the fresh air. He wrote that he was so lucky to have an amazing wife like Annie, who is an amazing mom and partner. David looked so comfortable in his new surroundings that a fan asked, "Have you moved there?" A different fan, "For now," and David liked that "for now" comment. David recently shared that his mother-in-law, Annie's mom, has received her green card. This update strongly suggests she's preparing to join Annie and David in Arizona. With that in mind, David's hints about living in Thailand only temporarily make more sense now. Their baby, Nti, already holds dual citizenship, and Annie is a US citizen as well. The couple never intended to live in Thailand permanently. Their time there was likely centered around family support during Annie's pregnancy, and now they seem ready to return to the US for the next chapter of their lives. Annie and David had always hoped to be in Thailand if Annie became pregnant. Without support in the US, being near her mother and extended family made the experience of pregnancy and delivery far more manageable. Now that baby Nti is a few months old, the couple appears to be preparing for their return to the United States. Annie's mother will be joining them, which will make Annie's transition into motherhood smoother. Meanwhile, David is focused on work and has already sold one of his apartments in Thailand. He's now planning to sell the second one as well. David and Annie credit 90-Day Fiancé for their success, but David recently hinted that he might be done with the franchise. Still, without occasional spin-offs, they risk fading from reality TV and losing social media followers who discovered them through the show. Stepping away may not be the best choice, especially now that they've become parents. David's son is also getting married soon, and he has already welcomed his future daughter-in-law into the family. After recently reconciling with his children, David likely doesn't want to miss such a meaningful milestone in their lives.